TheHootDaily.com, your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and even the top-flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheHootDaily.com is your site. TheHootDaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us.
Big Q from the Sports Coma. Much love to the family members. Appreciate y'all. The PRO Media Network is back at it again. Last year we gave away several PS4s and games. So this year we're raffling off a PS5. To enter for your chance to win, simply click the link below and fill out all the necessary information to be eligible. Sign up for the raffle. It's $25 to enter. You gain an opportunity to win a system, the PS5 system. Like I said, it's a one remote and everything in it that goes with the full system. These things are hard to come by. It could be yours. Into the raffle today, $25 get you in. There's also a deal when you buy more than one ticket to up your chances of winning. Jump in there. It also benefits the platform as well. So feel free to sign up for the first annual PS5 raffle from the Pro Media Network. Thank you for participating and much love. Big ups to you.
Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that?
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the Sports Coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Payton, New Orleans, Who Dat Nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the Sports Coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Is Sean Payton to blame for the Saints quarterback conundrum?
Without question, so far. And I say that, listen, I say that out of profound respect for Sean Payton. This is a Super Bowl champion coach. This is somebody that's known as one of the brilliant offensive minds in the game. Max, if you'd like to go first, I don't mind. I don't want to step on anything if I've said, yeah. But I just want to tell you this: when you look at Sean Payton, listen, Sam, Max, it really is fair to say the only reason we care to know anything about Taysom Hill is because Sean Payton told us. If you really, really think about it, don't get me wrong, he started 4 games last year. He went 3-1. He looked really respectable in those performances, and that's not to take anything away from him. But considering how old he is, because he's over 30 years of age, he's never started. He's been in New Orleans throughout his career. He's played behind Drew Brees. We never paid any attention to Taysom Hill until Sean Payton told us this was somebody that was worth paying attention to. We saw him on special teams. We saw him in trick, gimmicky plays and things of that nature. But for the most part, that's all we saw from him until he was thrusted into the starting lineup last year once Drew Brees got hurt. And so because of that, we thought he was going to be the heir apparent, particularly since you had Jameis Winston in the lineup, but Sean Payton still elected to go to him. All right, well, fast forward to this year. Drew Brees is officially gone. He's retired. He's going to be in the NBC booth. We wish him nothing but the best. I think he'll do a great job. But it comes down to Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. And since Taysom Hill had gotten the call over a guy who had started the previous 5 years in Tampa Bay in Jameis Winston, albeit that last year he threw 30 interceptions to go with his 33 touchdowns, the fact remains that we looked at Taysom Hill and we said, okay, this must be the guy. And so when you come into this season and there's no decision that's been made, that Sean Payton is still undecided, his acumen for football, his knowledge, and his brilliance being an offensive mind, for him to not be in a place where he can definitively say, Taysom Hill is my guy, is an indictment against Taysom Hill. And I don't think there's any way to look at it, because since that Sean Payton is the guy that said, this is the guy you should believe him, we should have expected him to be a bit more definitive about Taysom Hill. And if he's not more definitive about Taysom Hill, either Taysom has dropped off or Sean Payton was just wrong.
I can't put this on.
All right, let's stop right there. This is coming into it as called Stephen A. blames Sean Payton for Saints QB conundrum. We don't have a QB conundrum. We don't have a QB conundrum. Okay, Stephen A. And we didn't start paying attention to Taysom Hill because Coach Payton told us to pay attention to Taysom Hill. We were paying attention to Taysom Hill because Taysom Hill was impactful, regardless of what position he was on the field, whether it was a running back, tight end, wide receiver, or special teams player. He was impactful. He was a playmaker. He hasn't achieved that at the quarterback level in the long range because he only had 4 starts, 2 of which were good, the other 2 not so good. This comes as a result of people not understanding who the Saints are because they look at the Saints as a casual person pretending to know who the Saints are. The Saints do not have a QB conundrum. Okay? We don't have a QB conundrum. We go through what most teams go through when it's time to move on from their future first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. Moving into that, this is nothing new. We're not the first person. We don't have a conundrum here. And like I said, that just goes to show you what these people know. Now, I'm going to finish up on this. I'd like to give a big shout out to the rest of the family members in the chat. Much love to the family. I'm sorry I'm coming at you guys late. I had to finish off the episode of On Q with Big Q for the Patreon family, which is available on our Patreon channel for the family members. It was an hour and a half. I meant to only do an hour. But, you know, it's been very busy with everything, and I'm just kind of supposed to release it yesterday and finish up, but I had some computer issues. I worked that out, and then I got it completed. But hence, well, here's the show. So big ups to the family members. I appreciate y'all being in a live stream on this one. Much love to the fam. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. I'm Big Q, and you're the Who Dat Nation, the Black and Gold Nation, the great Saint think tank, and I salute each and every last one of you. I appreciate you guys for being in a live stream with me at 11:04 by way of my clock Central Time. I appreciate you guys being in the building. This one's entitled TSC Saints Make 5 Roster Moves and More News. We're going to get into that. I promise I won't hold you guys for very long tonight on this show, but we're going to get through this interview. I thought it was you guys would enjoy listening to what they're thinking about our QB situation. And also, I like to document these things for the show's archives, because sometimes these little videos disappear offline, and then they say, we didn't say that, Q. We didn't say that. So, I mean, we bring it up. But anyway, who that to the fam? Gabriel Thomas, who that to you? Jerry Paul Jr., who that to you? Kashawn Gordon, who that to you? What's up, Jacob? Who that to you? Adolphine, who that to you? Joseph Thomas, what's up, Joe? Who that to you? Philip, what's up, Philip Celestine? Who that to you? Greg Raging Cajun, who that to you? Cooler McGee, who that to you? Action Jackson, who that to you? What's up, fam? Superstar Louisiana boy, who that to you? G Ree 504, who that to you? Lee Wood, what's up, Lee? Who that to you? What's up, Big Ant? Who that to you, fam? Rugaroo, who that to you? Frederick, what's up, Frederick Savoy Jr.? What's up, brother Frederick? Who that to you? Tragic 504 in the building. Who that to you? Chris Rooks, who that to you? Who else we got? Latrell, what's up? Latrell Pollard, who that to you? Zoidy, what's up, fam? Who that to you? Thank you for joining us. All right, Brian Pearson, who that to you? Marcos, what's up, Marcos? Who that to you, fam? Saint 01, who that to you, fam? Appreciate you being here as well. Much love to you. What's up, Lori, baby? Much love to the Queens. Who that to you? Ramsey Walls, who that to you? And big ups to everybody, man. What's up, RG? Who that to you, fam? J Live 504. Thank you, fam. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Much love to you. I appreciate the commentary and the great words. All right. Thank you. You know, you my dog. The last podcast was too much playing. I just thought somebody should say something love with. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, J Live. Thank you for being here. Cameron, what's up, fam? Who that to Cameron as well? Who that to you? All right, Damian, who that to you, fam? What's going on? I heard about Josh Hart. Yes, we're going to cover that. What's up, Mitchell? Who that to you, fam? House of Twigger. Who that to you? Vernon. What's up, Vernon? Who that to you? Kelvin Washington from Phoenix, Arizona. What's up, Kev? Who that to you? What's up, Seth? Who that to you, fam? Says Q got the news. I got to go get my first Saints game against AI. Yes, indeed. Hennessy. What's up, Hennessy? Who that to your fam? What's up, John Turner? Who that to your fam? What's up, Lance? Lance Baptiste in the house as well. Skull Crusher. What's up, fam? Lil Esco. Who that to you, man? What's going on? He said, Shorty, what it do? Uh-oh. You must be related to John. All right. Much love to the fam, man. Big ups to all the family members as we started the show opening up with Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman looking bewildered and totally out of it, mesmerized as usual, and Ocho talking about the Saints have a quarterback conundrum. And I have to disagree. The Saints do not have a quarterback conundrum. We don't have, but it's every time they turn to the black and gold, it's never to give positive feedback. It's always something negative to throw upon the Who Dat Nation. So I thought I would just address it. What's up, Shane? Who that to Shane Wiseman as well? Who that Glenn? Who that to you? Appreciate y'all being here, man. Please feel free to hit the like button. Please hit the bell as well. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button as well. And I'd like to give a shout out to 50 plus members, new subscribe members that have subscribed over the weekend. I appreciate you guys, the 50 plus guys. Welcome to the family as well. And I appreciate you guys joining the Sports Coma and the Great Saint Think Tank. And also, I'm asking the family members to feel free to share the link in the social media feed as we continue to grow as a family. So let's get back into this one, family. Then we'll go over some news and notes, the 5 roster moves as we finish up on this. And like I said, I won't hold you guys for too much longer in the show. So let's finish this up and hear what Max Mesmerized Kellerman had to say as well. Here we go.
On Sean Payton. First of all, he's not the GM. Mickey Loomis. The coach is also responsible for drafting the quarterback and everything. Look, here's the bottom line. Here's the bottom line about Taysom Hill. You're right, Stephen A. Sean Payton told us in Miami a couple of years ago, Taysom Hill is going to be he's going to be a good quarterback. He may
think about Tracy Porter, Brian.
Taysom Hill's kind of a miraculous athlete. He's known as a gadget player, but boy, those are some gadgets. I watch Odell Beckham Jr., for example, take batting practice at Citi Field, hit home run after home run. I see him throw a spiral with his left hand 50 yards. I see him kick a soccer ball. Odell Beckham Jr. is one of the best. If the Martians came down and said, take us to your greatest athlete, you might take him to LeBron, you might take him to Odell. But Taysom Hill is kind of one of those guys. He runs a 4.45 40. He's a genuine running back. He can actually catch passes, and he can play quarterback according to Sean Payton. Now, could I see how a coach might fall in love with that guy and think he can maybe do that a little? No one wants to make Odell a quarterback, even though he can throw the ball, right? Because it requires more than just throwing the ball. But he looked at Taysom Hill for a good long while and thought, I think he could do it. Now, he's on the same team with Drew Brees. He didn't get the job before he was 30. That tells you he ain't going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. But Sean Payton thinks he might be a quarterback, and he might be right. By the way, this is a copycat league. We were just talking earlier. Sam, you brought up Fangio's disciples are everywhere, right? Just like Shanahan disciples are everywhere because things catch on in the NFL. It works. Could it not work with a Wildcat if you had Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara? That can't work, or at least part of an offensive package that could work. He ain't going to replace Drew Brees as the next Drew Brees. But at the time, when it was either of getting more expensive Teddy Bridgewater or the unknown who he believed in Taysom Hill, he said, you know what? I don't think we're better off with Teddy Bridgewater and paying him than we are with Taysom Hill, who I think we can develop. And the jury is still out there. But even so, is he to blame that Taysom Hill is not Drew Brees? No. Are you sure that Taysom Hill can't be a successful NFL quarterback? I'm not. I haven't ruled that out yet.
Well, hold on for a second before Sam chimes in. Nobody's asked. I just want for clarification. Nobody's asking him to be Drew Brees. We're asking him to be a starting quarterback in this league because because Sean Payton told us he is. So if that's not going to be the case with Sean Payton still the coach in New Orleans, that's a problem. Sam, floor is yours.
All right, first of all, let's interject. They don't understand what Coach Payton's doing, man. The reality is it's beyond gimmicky or gimmick potential, or like I used like to use the utility man. Like most professions have a utility man. I mean, it's a guy that does he wears several hats. He does several different things. That is literally the football embodiment of what Taysom Hill represents. And not just wearing those hats, not the silly dysfunctional versatility that people like to refer to when they talk about PJ Williams, when they say that he could play cornerback and safety. That's not true. He can't play cornerback. He can't cover. Safety he plays until he has to cover. So he's not versatile. He can't. Versatility in a functional sense, meaning that you can do multiple things very well, not one more than the other, or one shitty and the other one good, and then, oh, he's versatile. No, it don't work like that. Versatility is, he, like Taysom, he was impactful at wide receiver. He did running back stuff when he actually did the running back stuff before he turned into the fumbleitis guy. And then, of course, special teams, tight end stuff. He did all that stuff very well enough to pull reps from guys that was doing that nearly their entire careers. The idea is, we know Coach Payton gave Taysom Hill an opportunity to display what he can do last year with mixed results. And Coach Payton realized that Taysom Hill can throw the ball in a limited set, that he still needs to work on his accuracy. We cover that all the time. We talk about Taysom Hill and what he needs to do. When people ask me, Hugh, what you think about Taysom Hill? Where do I usually go to? Based upon my perception and what I witnessed as watching Taysom Hill for all these years. It wasn't the fact that Sean Payton told me that Taysom Hill was a good quarterback, then I started believing him. I mean, if I tell Stephen A. Smith Santa Claus is real, would he believe me? Would he believe me if Santa Claus is real, or the goddamn Easter Bunny, or Ben Solo? Or I mean, come on. I mean, but see, this is the type of stuff what happens when you pretend to know people's team. You covering them just so that particular base of people will start paying attention to your ass. You don't know. Coach Payton called him Steve Young. And I think that in his perception, he believes that. But Coach Payton's offense is going to operate, in my opinion, if Jameis wins, but Jameis is going to win despite, I said, if injuries don't occur, Jameis will win the job. Right now, as you can see it right now, they're right around each other. But if you got to look close, Jameis has a slight advantage on Taysom Hill. He has a slight advantage on him. You know, the interception in the game wasn't Jameis's fault. Jameis threw it to the guy. The cornerback pops it up out of LaJordan Humphrey's hands into the air, and he picks the ball off. That wasn't on Jameis, even though Jameis is going to take credit for it. He's going to get stuck with that interception. And he said, I got to throw a better ball. The reality is, if Taysom loses to Jameis in the QB battle, he does not lose. He does not lose. What I mean by that is it will operate like a 60-40 type of style of system where Jameis Winston could be higher percentages. To be conservative, I say 60-40, where Jameis gets 60% of the QB reps versus Taysom getting the rest of them. And then, of course, operating the Taysom Hill play packages, which involved him running and throwing the ball. So it's just, you have to get Taysom comfortable, not with the entire playbook per se for his packages, but with a certain select group of packages that he gets comfortable with throwing. He doesn't have to be Joe Montana or even Drew Brees to operate his packages. He has to balance them. Just get comfortable with a certain amount of pass plays where he can be able to throw the ball to keep the opposing defense's head on a swivel. That's what it's coming down to. That's what Coach Payton is trying to do. He's trying to operate a system like he did with Drew Brees on the back end when they were saying, well, Taysom's strictly out of there because, and Tragic brought this up and made a great point about it, is that, I think Taysom is strictly there because Drew Brees failed to push the ball up the field, in which Taysom did throw the ball down the field. But Sean Payton still sees a similar application for Taysom Hill in his system. He's just too impactful not to include in the utility situation. Come on. The only problem with Taysom Hill in his packages is he has to be able to throw the ball out the package. And Coach Payton has to be able to create balance for his play passes. That's what it comes down to. Once he create the idea in their head that they got to respect them throwing the ball, you're going to have problems. And then of course what that does is put an extra veneer of stress on the opposing defenses, so they have to game plan for both of them, which they can't do. It's not enough time. You can't game plan for both Jameis and Taysom at the same goddamn time. You can't do it. So I mean, you can't think, of a system that's been employed, but the Saints been operating a similar offense for the last several years. Drew Brees comes out there, Taysom comes out there. And I mean, it's a great idea to have if he can balance Taysom's his play packages. That's what it comes down to. So these guys looking at, he has to be a starting quarterback. Listen, let me tell you something. It is and I'm not saying Taysom can't do it, because Taysom been doing stuff because he's an athlete, not just an athlete, but he's a really intelligent guy to do all of that stuff extremely as well as he did it. And my mind works because I'm deciphering and breaking down the fact that how much time is he spending in that room versus that other wide receiver. Let's say versus a Traquan Smith that spends 100% of his time in the wide receiver room versus Taysom. If he's a utility man, he spent 25% of time in that room and still come out and have playmaking abilities over the rest of those wide receivers not named Mike Thomas. You see? Or a tight end situation. He spends 25% in each room and then comes out and outperforms the guy that's in there 100% of the time. That says a lot. Now, whether or not the quarterback position is different, because it requires him having to learn what he needs to do and be as with live reps. He has to be able to do that live reps. You cannot develop pocket awareness, like you would want to in practice is cool. But you have to get out there and develop that sense of pocket, knowing when to run, when not to run, knowing to be patient and go through progressions and then not seeing nothing, check it down, understanding what's around you, not holding on to the ball and developing what we call a QB clock in your head. Well, as soon as you snap that ball, besides going over, because it's a lot to decipher, walking up to the line of scrimmage and looking over the line of scrimmage at the defense to find out what kind of formation that they're in. And not only that, okay, they're in this formation and we're about to run and they're in a pass formation, or if they're in a blitzing formation, we could throw the ball over their heads. Looking at it and then saying, okay, we could do this, and then audible and out of the run into a pass to give you an advantage, and then being comfortable guiding and make sure everybody's lined up. And it's a lot of pre-snap stuff that comes that he has to pay attention to. And it's a lot of stuff that he will have to develop that he hasn't been developing, because the majority of the time Taysom has been in everybody else's room and not exclusively 100% in the quarterback room. But granted, on top of that, the fact that we also realize that even if Taysom loses the job to Jameis, he still wins because he still is going to play the quarterback position as well as several other positions. He's still going to be utilized. So it's the lack of imagination just to consider him simply a guy that's just a gimmicky guy. I mean, Taysom, you have to game plan for Taysom Hill or he'll kill you. So you mean to tell me Sean Payton had to tell Stephen A., your goofy, silly looking ass, that Sean Payton had to tell you that he's a ball player. That's why we got to pay attention to him. So it wasn't the fact that Taysom was blocking punts, that he was catching passes, that he was running over defensive backs. He started making guys have to game plan to deal with him. That wasn't enough. I mean, you silly something. You know what? I ain't going to even say it. But it's just ridiculous. So let's finish this up and then we're going to go on into the next stuff.
Absolutely. Well, I have a couple issues with some things that I've heard from both of you. So I'll start with Max, if you don't mind. Max, first of all, I don't think anyone on earth wants to hear Taysom Hill in the same conversation as Odell Beckham when it comes to being a phenomenal athlete, or LeBron James. Like, let's just start there, number one. Number two, all
right, partner, pump your goddamn brakes. Come on, pump your brakes, man. The man was just saying he was speaking in terms of athletes, man. Come on. He's speaking in terms of athletes, and Taysom Hill, LeBron James is a great athlete. We ain't talking about championships and all that. We talking about athleticism, man. Odell Beckham is a great athlete, and goddamn it, Taysom Hill is a great athlete too. He is. I mean, he's 6'2", he's 4, he runs a high. He's one of the fastest guys on the team. I mean, he's incredibly intelligent in terms of his football IQ. How he can go into rooms and pick up what they want him to do. And not only that, go out and execute it better than the guys that been sitting in there longer. I mean, it ain't got nothing to do with that, partner. So, I mean, come on. He ain't saying that he's the next LeBron. He's just speaking in terms of athleticism. Slow down, man.
Some of the things that you named off that Taysom Hill does really, really well. You said he can catch the ball really well. He can cover kicks really well. Then you said he can play quarterback according to his coach. But according to the film, he can't play quarterback. Like, Taysom Hill is not a quarterback. He's a slash guy. He's a specialist. He's a receiver. He's a return man. He's not a quarterback. Now, we went back there and won some games. They were 3-1, but he's not a quarterback. The reason they were 3-1, the reason that they won, I mean, let's just watch turn on the preseason game. Look at his interception. Like, good quarterbacks don't make interceptions like that. They just don't.
First of all, no, that's not true. Good quarterbacks do throw interceptions in preseason. Preseason is for you to make mistakes. So is the practice sessions leading up, and preseason is a part of the game. Learning what you're supposed to do. Now, Taysom Hill that was bad footwork on Taysom. You can see he was backpedaling, and he spoke about that. He spoke about how he thought Ty Montgomery was going here, and then Ty Montgomery went this other way, and he threw the ball where he figured Ty might be going. When he thought Ty might be cutting to the right, Ty didn't cut right. He stopped running and he threw the ball there. Bad mistake. That was just him and Ty Montgomery not being on the same page. Now, you go back and watch the play, you can see that because Taysom talked about that, and they asked him what happened there, and he broke that down. And I looked at the film and I said, okay, yeah. But he was backpedaling. Even I said, Taysom, what was you going with that ball? And I'm like, okay, damn. Why did he throw the ball like that? And then he broke it down. So I get that part of it. But don't poo-poo his 3-1. See, that's what I'm saying in the regular season. How could anybody, and it's just absolutely it's ridiculous to me that you got a guy who they throw all the stuff and say, oh, he's 31 years old. He's too old to learn the quarterback position. We had Willie saying that the last show that, he need to learn how to do that. I mean, listen, bro, the bottom line is, the guy has been doing everything in the Saints system, but playing quarterback steadily. Now he's operating as a quarterback. He's getting an opportunity. Coach Payton giving him an opportunity to play quarterback. He's lining him up against Jameis. That's a tall order. So at the end of the day, he did make a bad throw in that. But goddamn it, you turn a preseason film. He's not the only quarterback to throw picks in preseason, bro. Come on now. I mean, he's not a quarterback. He's not a quarterback. But he guided the Saints offense to a 3-1 position. Well, most of that was the running attack. And in the games, the Saints ran for 200 yards. What did Taysom Hill do in those games? In those games, Taysom Hill, he did some fumbling and stuff, but he was a part of the rushing attack, and they knew he was running and couldn't stop him. The part of the game is also Taysom in the Atlanta games. If you go put the film on with the Taysom against Atlanta, he was doing pretty good at the quarterback. So, I mean, if you're going to take the times that he was playing quarterback and then guide him, what are you looking at to make the summation that he's not a quarterback? He might not be the top-notch quarterback, but he has 3 wins under his belt as a starter. I mean, the 2 games against Atlanta that he won, he was pretty decent in those games. He looked pretty good as a quarterback in those Atlanta contests. Y'all tell me. But based on what the hell I seen, he looked pretty decent in the Atlanta system. But like I said, it's a part of the game. It's a large part of what Taysom Hill has to do. And like I said, he has the arm strength. He gotta work on everything, the intangibles. And we talked about the short, the intermediate stuff. And of course, he has a big arm. He can launch the ball down the field. But it's just amazing how you can push over the 3-1 shit like that's nothing. Most of them backups that come on, them some bitches ain't. If they miss their quarterback for 5 games, most of them goddamn people lose 3 of the games and win 2 of the games if they lucky. The Saints still can win without its key personnel out. Same thing would happen with Drew Brees. Taysom was 3-1 in that role. He wasn't perfect, but he was able to get 3 wins, almost 4 wins if he hadn't stuck in the quarter, held in the pocket and sat there with no pocket awareness and had that play against Philadelphia. That's what I'm saying. You got to develop that. But 4 starts is all the man got. Give him a goddamn chance. But I promise you, man, when the time comes and this man learn how to play in terms of playing within the system that Sean Payton got set for him, it's going to be a total different thing. And then they're going to be kissing his ass. Watch.
They just don't.
I see quarterbacks make stupid passes all the time.
That wasn't Like, good quarterbacks don't make interceptions like that. They just don't.
That's not true, bro.
I see quarterbacks make passes all the time.
That's not a stupid pass. That's like somebody who's a receiver trying to figure out how to play quarterback, who's like a do-it-all guy trying to figure out how to play quarterback. That's not a quarterback.
Wrong.
Number one. Number two, I look at like why they've been successful. I think about this. Sometimes success can be good for you, but sometimes it can hurt you. Sean Payton in the last 2 years is 8-1 without Drew Brees.
Success can be good for you, but sometimes it can harm you. Can success harm you? Being successful can harm you. The Saints have been successful offensively speaking, running the ball, throwing the ball. And the only times we've been harmed is when we get in our own way and don't balance ourselves and start committing turnovers or having too much club Saint. That's the bottom line. When in the playoffs, when we get to the playoffs, turn all that shit off there. Turn Club Saint off and let's focus on getting through the wins. That's what I'm saying. Too much lackadaisical stuff in the playoffs. We need more attention to detail in the playoffs. We need a little bit more serious attention to detail in the playoffs. But the Saints hurt themselves when we don't execute our game plan. Like in the game against the Baltimore Ravens, the first preseason matchup. It was pathetic in the back end because we had third string blockers that don't need to be. Every last one of them blockers should have been cut, by the way. We didn't need guys that can't block. I mean, they could not keep anybody off of the quarterback so he can make any plays there. But for this, what he's saying is preposterous, is stupid, and is dumb. Quarterbacks don't throw picks like that. You've seen some of the best quarterbacks in the business throw picks just like what Taysom Hill threw in the preseason matchup against Baltimore. So come on. They throw stuff like that all the time. Aaron Rodgers backpedals and throws interceptions and makes mistakes. Tom Brady does it. I've seen Drew Brees backpedal and throw interceptions before, so cut that shit out.
That's his quarterback. So he's had success. In 2019, Drew Brees missed 5 games. All of a sudden, Teddy Bridgewater, 5-0. Right? Last year, Drew Brees gets injured. All of a sudden, Taysom Hill, 3-1. He won some games.
It's just, and they cut him off because he really ain't making no sense. But the reality at the end of the day is like, it's ridiculous. But it goes to show you, say, Q, why you got these buffoonish clown nincompoops on here, just to let you listen to what network people sound like talking about the New Orleans Saints. They are talking about the black and gold Saints like they know the black and gold Saints, talking about the team like they know the team. Coach Payton's offense, when it's ran, particularly, you'll have 2 quarterbacks operating. You'll have a 60-40, maybe 70-30 measurement when it comes down to the quarterback. Taysom will come out, operate the Wildcat package. He'll throw the ball, he'll run the ball, and that's tough to defend against. You got 2 quarterbacks you got to defend against, and one's an athlete that is faster than your defensive backs. You got Jameis running around out there, and I mean, if Coach Payton I'm gonna just say it like this: when Coach Payton get the system set, when he has both of these guys operating where he wants them, you ain't gonna be able to stop the Saints offense. You won't be able to stop it. Bottom line, you won't be able to stop it. But they don't have the imagination. We talk about imagination. We talk about that because you got to have imagination so to be able to talk about Saints offense and Saints football. We don't operate like most. We don't operate our offense and shit like the rest of these other people running around up in here. Carolina, it just says, you know what? We like what New Orleans do. Let's go over there and get this other dude. Let's get Brady over here and bring him up in there and let him run a bastardized form of Coach Payton's offense. The only problem with that's cool, and we appreciate you doing that at Carolina. And I have to give props to the brothers on the NFC roundtable because brother Rashad actually admitted that. He said we are a descendant of the Saints offense. He admitted that. So I was like, okay, all right, okay, we dealing with some people that got some sense. There's some people that keep it real. So, I mean, they know what they got. They know what you and of course, will you be able to beat the Saints with their own shit? Of course not. Because if I created the system and I created the invention, then I know all of the bells, the whistles, all of the good stuff, but I also know where all the weaknesses are. I know if I built that house, I know where the flaws at in the house. I know where everything wrong in that goddamn house. I know it because I'm the architect of that house. Think about that. So the reality is, you ought to understand the black and gold offense. You got to have some imagination. And really, truthfully, that's why I keep telling people, when you think about the Saints, some of the greatest things the Saints have is they have a lot of imagination. They have a lot of versatility. And they have guys that love football, that love to be in New Orleans. And these guys are also guys that that carry a chip on their shoulder, and guys that are prideful, that are used to winning and have an air of wanting to win for the region, for the team, for the city. And then you want guys like that to come here. You want coaches to come here and keep that mentality, that success mentality up. I promise you, I never get tired of success. I don't know what that asshole talking about, but I promise you one thing, you never get tired of being successful. What kind of foolishness is that? Oh, I'm just so tired of being successful. Oh man, I'm so tired. No. Because success is only obtained through hard work, planning, dedication, and many other positive respects and disciplines that you have to have. You can't luck up on success. You know, that's hard work. Listen to a guy that knows. It takes hard work to be successful. It takes consistency and persistence. Even when you're tired or when you doubt, you got to keep your foot to the pedal, baby. You got to roll. You know, I ain't never heard success can hurt you. No, asshole. Success can't hurt nobody. Maybe the type of success he talking about is he successfully hit himself with a hammer when he was hitting a nail. Oh, shit. I successfully hit myself with the hammer. Maybe that's what he's talking about, but still that gathers itself toward dysfunction. So I wouldn't even call that successful. But I don't know what these people talking about. But I like to just put their stupid ass on blast sometimes, because I know exactly at times what they're going to do. They'll pull that shit off a line and you won't ever be able to follow them. They say they never heard it. I never heard of that. But I ain't say that, Q. Oh, yeah, here you go. On this show, we got you. We got you, Cole and Center. So with that being said, fam, we're going to bounce on over there. I just wanted to play that for y'all, man, and let y'all listen to what they trying to talk about with the Saints. I mean, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Ain't that stupid? It's the dumbest shit in the world. All right, big ups to the family members, man. Appreciate y'all being here. What's up, KK, baby? Much love to the Queens. Adrian! Much love to the Queens in the building. Much love. What's up, CeeLo? Big ups to you. Who that to you? DLP, who that to you? Much love. Oh, Henry, what's up, fam? Sensational Gent, what's up, fam? How you doing, brother? Good to see you in the chat as well. Much love to everybody in the building. All right, much love to the Queens. All right, TP says, why did they use some starters? He says, why did we use some starters on our O-line in the game? They were thrones making moves and didn't see much of a second and third string. I know, you know what? There's some coaches seen enough. Like I was looking for Stevie Scott the third, Stevie Scott the third to come out and play in that snap. But then Coach Payton he's seen Tony Jones running, and sometimes you watch these guys in practice and he said, you know what, I've seen enough. But that don't necessarily mean that could be the end of Stevie Scott the third. They can also bring, what's up, Muse, baby? Who that to the Queens? 504 Cole, big ups, cuz. Good to see you in the chat as well. Much love. All right. And it's, that's a part of it. But some of these coaches, they realize, okay, this guy isn't progressing fast enough, and this other guy is kicking ass out here. And they had a lot of time, enough time on some of these guys to make a call on these guys, so to speak. You know what I'm saying, TP, baby? So, I mean, what it comes down to is, they're looking and say, okay, this guy's not picking it up fast enough. This guy's not picking it up fast enough. And this other guy that's his competition is, and we can utilize him. I see a lot of upside in this guy. Let's get this other guy out of here. And that's what they did. So we're going to get into it on this. What's up, Jared? Who that to you? John Thompson, who that to you? Big up. What's up, Mocha? Much love. He said, why do Steven, and every time when I watch him on TV, he got great. I mean, he terrible, man. I mean, Stephen A. Smith is so bull crappish, man. It's ridiculous. What's up, Michael? Who that to you, fam? Michael Clark in the building as well. Much love. Who that to all the black and gold? Big Sean, what's happening, fam? Much love to Big Sean and the rest of the family members chiming in this thing. Slim and the rest of the fam, Louis, everybody, man. Much love to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all being up late with your boy. All right, so with that, no problem, TP, baby. All right, oh, Henry, what's up, fam? So with that being said, fam, let's jump into this, man. Y'all hit the like button for me, please. We're going to get into this next article covering the Saints making, this coming from NOLA.com and Amy, covering the Saints make 5 roster moves ahead of the 85-man roster deadline limit. And of course, we knew, if you pay attention to the thumbnail, you see that Prince Amukamara was shown the door, man. And you know what? In a lot of that family, remember in the game, 1825 Tulane. What's up, fam? Big ups to you. You know the play that happened in the game where Amukamara was guarding the wide receiver and he simply just fell on him and caught the pass interference? Well, that and several other plays that occur on film, if you go back and look at it, which I went back and looked at the film, I was like, okay, yeah, that kind of showed that, you know, the athleticism that he needed and stuff like that. They didn't like it. And it just bodes well because, okay, if you get rid of Prince Amukamara, you're still dealing with, okay, P-Rob retires. You get rid of Prince Amukamara, and then you have some issues at the cornerback position, which I'm thinking sooner or later, more sooner than later, Coach Payton and will make a trade of some sort to bring another guy in here or, you know, add another additional free agent to it as we get closer and closer into the season with second preseason game coming up. But let's go over the 5 roster moves that the team made. Here's Amy. The New Orleans Saints made 5 moves to trim their roster from 90 to 85 players ahead of Tuesday's deadline, according to the NFL Transaction Wire. 5 players no longer on the Saints' active roster are cornerback Prince Amukamara, kicker Brett Meyer, who the Saints just signed, and more on him later, running back Stevie Scott III, and defensive end Noah Spence, tackle Kyle Murphy. None of them were present for Sunday's afternoon practice, and Coach Payton said that they already had made the roster moves with intent to announce them later. So with that being said, both Meyer and Scott were waived with injury designations. Meyer's contract was partially guaranteed, which was denoted on the wire. Now, Murphy was placed on IR. Amukamara and Spence were released, are not subject to waivers as they are vested veterans. And, of course, Amukamara was signed midway through training camp to help to provide depth at the cornerback position. But the former first-round pick did not impress. Meyer, he looked good in camp. But when the lights came on, you could see in the preseason matchup, that's when it all fell apart. And the Saints said, you know what? And that's despite the Saints cornerback situation. They still put him in the street. So, I mean, it's intriguing, man. But anyway, Meyer was signed after the Saints starter kicker Will Lutz was diagnosed with a core muscle injury that required surgery. Lutz had surgery last week and will be out for the foreseeable future as he recovers. It is extremely likely the Saints bring another kicker aboard and enter because they have a preseason game next Monday. Now, Scott was a rookie out of Indiana and signed with the Saints as undrafted. I was really excited about that kid. Too bad he did not play in Saturday's game and he missed a few practices leading up to the preseason opener. Spence had been with the Saints, and Spence looked good in that preseason matchup since 2019 and missed all of last season after he tore his ACL ahead of training camp. Murphy signed with the Saints and played a few snaps in the preseason opener. So, like we're saying, the 5 moves that were made was, of course, they released and cut I had to break out the big scissors for Prince Amukamara, running back Stevie Scott III, and of course they got rid of Brett Meyer and defensive end, and also, you know, Meyer ended up hurt, and Kyle Murphy also got cut as well. So, and no doubt about it, the black and gold is definitely going to be looking at attempting to bring somebody into the fold. Matter of fact, that probably be something that we hear about tomorrow, by the way. So, yeah, Philip said he never liked Prince. Prince was trying to rebuild himself here, man. It just didn't look good. What's up, Miss Sexy Blacksmith? Big ups to you, baby. Much love to you. Big ups to the Queens. Brandon Cormier, what's up, fam? Much love. Appreciate y'all. Last Saint Tyrese is in the building as well, man. Big ups to you. What's up, Tess? Who that to you, baby? All right, so, you know, that's a part of it, man. So be looking out for the Saints to kind of make some more roster moves, meaning signings, adding a new kicker to the fray coming up soon, adding maybe another defensive back or two there as well. So we'll see some things jump off. Let's get into the next article right here. Also by Brad Walker from NOLA.com. Saints undrafted unheralded rookie Eric Burrell hopes physical play can help him shine. Now, Burrell was targeted. What's up, Teflon Don? Who that to you, fam? Brother Tramal, who that to you? So, I mean, and we talked about Burrell. I gave him a lot of spotlight. I said, man, y'all need to look out for Eric Burrell. Hot Boy 504, what's up, fam? Mocha. My thing is this. Eric Burrell, I talked about him being a hard-hitting safety out at the University of Wisconsin. And Burrell was a guy that showed up in the game. He made some plays. But one of the more impressive plays he made when he stuck, I mean, a picture-perfect hit, perfectly placed hit on Huntley, the quarterback, the Baltimore Ravens and hit him right in the breadbasket, discharging the ball and giving the Saints an opportunity to do something, which, they failed to do. But Burrell was a guy I spotlighted and told the Black and Gold Nation about. I think he'll be a pretty good addition. I remember he was signed along with Trill Williams, but Trill got released. Burrell got kept. Trill ends up in Miami. I think he's still there. But let's get into it. I'll be honest, says Rod Walk. I had to check the roster when the play happened. Number 32 wasn't a number that I and any other media members for that matter had mentioned much in training camp. But the guy wearing former Saints Vinny Vaccaro's old number made sure he didn't get overlooked Saturday night in New Orleans. 17-14 loss to Baltimore. Burrell's an undrafted rookie who played at Wisconsin. Was a hard-hitting safety who delivered the crushing fourth quarter hit on Ravens quarterback Tyler Huntley, jarring the ball loose for one of the Saints' 2 turnovers. He delivered another vicious hit later in the game on Ravens receiver Devin Gray. He finished with 6 tackles and second only to 8 by his former Wisconsin teammate Zach Bowen. But Burrell's night wasn't about the quantity of hits, but the quality of them. And I told people that this was kind of safety that you want to have back there. You want somebody that know how to tackle and know how to hit, but not only that, but be able to hit somebody right on the ball. You want to put that helmet, put that shoulder right on the goddamn ball and discharge it. You want to, free the ball from the carrier. That's what you want to do. And this guy hits hard. He knows how to tackle. He hit somebody so hard. I thought he knocked himself out. I thought he concussed himself. He hits, but he is. I like this kid because that's how he played in college. It's something he doesn't have to show in training camp going against his own teammates. So he was anxious to get a chance to show what he can do against someone without a fleur-de-lis on his helmet. Now, absolutely, Burrell said, that's one thing I love to do. This is a violent game. That's one thing I pride myself in when I'm on that field. It's a different ball game. That's why I try my best to. He says, making the night even more special is that it was in Baltimore, just 30 minutes from his hometown of Severn, Maryland. He had about 20 or so friends and family members in attendance. Despite growing up there, he wasn't a Ravens fan. Instead, he rooted for the Steelers, mostly because of his love for the ball-hawking Hall of Fame safety Troy Polamalu. Great person in terms of the Mariners game after in terms of a safety. He says, quote, I looked at him like an idol, end quote. Quote, he's a product of the game. He's a hard hitter, tough, dependable. I try to look at him and all he does, end quote. If you model this off at Troy Polamalu, that is absolutely a beautiful thing to do. I love that. So like Polamalu, he thrives on flying around to the football. He says he has always played the game that way. Quote, it's a violent game. I like to be in the spotlight and letting everybody know that I'm present, end quote. I love that. He played 40 snaps, 53% on Saturday in his bid to make an impression in a crowded secondary room, which chances are he can make it. PJ Williams is still missing time there, and they're not really deep at safety behind JT Gray, and he's really making a name for himself there. So I'm really impressed with what I've seen so far from Burrell. He says, quote, when you put the pads on is really important, Sean Payton said. Quote, especially when you watch these guys in the kicking game, it's just more information. Obviously, it's good when it's in the game setting like that, especially for these younger guys. I thought it was good, end quote. Burrell welcomed the chance to be more physical and do some things that he's not allowed to do in practice. Quote, there are certain aspects you try to imitate, Burrell said. But when it's referees there and full out, it's go time. You just go out there and you let it go. Obviously, it's hard in practice because you don't want to hurt your teammates, so you definitely have to be smart with it, end quote. Burrell hopes to get a chance to show more on August the 23rd when the Saints host the Jags in the second preseason game. The first game, particularly the play that caused the fumble, is one the 23-year-old will surely remember. He says, quote, it was definitely a surreal moment for me. Obviously, welcome to the NFL, end quote, he said. Quote, but that's just one play. Now I got more. He said I got to move forward and make multiple of those. I think it was definitely a good start for me, but I've got higher goals to reach, end quote. So this is a good start for young safety Eric Burrell, who's showing, man, listen, if you are hitting a hard-hitting, smart safety that loves to jar the ball loose, we're going to love you here in New Orleans. That's something we always appreciated from people like Sammy Knight, which was one of my favorite, Gene Atkins and them guys when it was at the Dome Patrol, and other hard-hitting safeties that come here and knock your ass up out of here. We always appreciated those type of guys coming down field and land the boom down. Also, we also appreciate hard-hitting undrafted running backs or running backs, period, like Mike Bell or Corin Robinson or Chris Ivory, those type of guys that just run downhill and just boom, bang, just run over us, the bowling balls. We love that. We love that style of that physical style of play in this region in New Orleans. That's what we about. So Eric Burrell is starting off on the right direction. So big ups to him. And just to kind of do a quick summary before we get ready to dip up out of here. Saints 5 roster moves, we covered that. We talked about the releasing the Prince of Mukamara and several other players. And of course, the kicker, Meyer, ended up on the IR with issues, and the Saints going to have to find him another kicker. And more than likely, that's going to happen pretty fast. Really, probably they're looking at it now. You probably won't hear it till tomorrow. And of course, Saints undrafted, unheralded rookie Eric Burrell stepping up and shining in the Baltimore game, and he looking to do a little bit more, baby. So, like I said, positives nonetheless. Even with the loss to the Baltimore Ravens, when you turn the ball over 6 times, 6 turnovers in the Baltimore Ravens game, in the preseason matchup, very sloppy football. But you turn the ball over 6 times, you only lose the game by 3 points. The defense was where they was supposed to be. The offense, third level offense, a lot of guys, you look at that, go back and look at that tape, that offensive line was putrid. And they should have cut every last one of them putrid ass offensive linemen. They couldn't even block guys flying through them like they was electronic slider doors or something. But it is with pretty positive reports on that. But anyway, let's get into, I'm going to read a few comments from the family members from before I get up out of here, man. Big ups to the fam. What's up, miscellaneous mail? Big ups to your fam. Abby, I see you, fam. Much love to you as well. Black Pearl, what's happening, fam? Much love to you. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, he said Paulson the Debo, man. Listen, we talked about a lot of fantastic players in that matchup. We talked about Zach Bowen stepping out. We just covered what Eric Burrell did, which did pretty well. You talked about Tony Jones Jr., everything well except for the fumble, doing too much. We talked about, Marquez Callaway stepping up, doing his damn thing. And then, you talk about, who else was it? It was one or two other guys. Chase Hansen was playing well as well. The defensive line got pressure on him. Paulson Adebo was thrown at repeatedly and responded. That was a big thing to see how he does. Ken Crawley got smoked and cooked a couple of times, but at least he was turning his head around, locating the ball. How about that? So, I mean, I was besides losing the game, we still had some fun, man. I can't be mad. We didn't get blown out. We lost. We could have won. We should have won that game. You know what I'm saying? We should have won that damn game. But you got when Latavius Murray fumbled the ball, then we had several opportunities. We should have beat that team by at least 2 scores. Latavius fumbled the ball, we marching to score there. Tony Jones fumbled the ball, we marching to score there. So I mean, it's just he just couldn't get it right. Couldn't get it right, couldn't get it right. But all right, though. But it pissed off Coach Payton and a few other people. So we get this right, and going into the next game, we'll see what we look like against the Mo Jags. All right, let's keep it going, fam. Let me get a few comments or questions from the chat, fam. Drop some in there for me and I'm gonna try to get to you before the show ends up. Frederick said, I do want the kicker from Baltimore, though. Oh, yes. We covered that, and I'm like, man, you don't think for a second Coach Payton don't see that? Remember, and people were saying that, and family members were saying that, but really, and it was so smart because even with them saying that about the Baltimore kicker, I was flashing my man. I say, hold on, we got Will Lutz from Baltimore. He could not beat out Tucker. And Tucker's one of the best kickers in the business. And Coach Harbaugh called Coach Payton, they're good friends, close friends, and told him, I got a kicker for you. Prior to that, we had musical quarterback, a Chaz at the kicker position. Y'all remember that? Musical chairs at the kicker position. Will Lutz came and solidified it. And that was a lot of parts because what Coach Harbaugh called Coach Payton and told him, hey, I got somebody for you. Could that be the case this time around with Will Lutz being out for 8 to 9 weeks or whatever it is? Maybe 10 weeks. I'll say 10, man, just to go. You can look at that guy and say, hey, you ain't going to keep that guy. Come on, John, send him on down here. So you could have a point on that, family, on that kicker from Baltimore. He was a good kicker. So, yeah, you're right. We got Lutz from there. Why not? You know what I'm saying? It's all good. All right, what's up, CeeLo Q? He said, Q, what do you think about? I loved what Tony Jones Jr. did, bro, in the game. If you notice, like I was covering in the stream, when we did the live stream for the live game, I couldn't help but to notice how the harmony or the synergy of the running back and the offensive line worked when they were together, meaning Tony Jones and the offensive line. They really started to move when Tony Jones Jr. got in there. You seen, Devonta Freeman getting there and nothing was happening. But Tony Jones gets in there. He makes a play, gets skinny between the hole, picks up a yardage. The next play comes back. He going to the side, nothing there. And he sees in the periphery of his vision, the whole line is a whole greenery there. He cuts back to that side of the field. That takes vision and speed as well. And then on one of the plays, he's still a rookie because you've seen on the play, and I just pay attention to this stuff. This is how my mind works. When he was running on that first series, when he had that big gain, had he switched the ball to the opposite arm, he could have been able to use his arm closest to the defender to stiff arm the guy. Perhaps he would have been able to pick up more yardage. You never know. He might have stiff armed that guy to the ground and would have had all kind of greenery. So, I mean, him running around and he was real positive. The only thing you could say that he didn't do well was fumble, but he was even picking up the blitzes. And I was pinpointing that. I was like, fam, did you see Tony Jones Jr. pick up that blitz? Because I think it was Jameis there. Jameis wouldn't have been able to throw that ball if it wasn't for Tony Jones Jr. picking up that blitzing defender. And, of course, Tony did do something where he picked up the blitzing defender and he was supposed to hit the guy and then leak out for Jameis with the touch pass. If he had done that, they had nothing but green in front of him. So it's a few things that he got to pick up on. But a lot of positive stuff for Tony Jones Jr., man. I like him, man. So thank you for the question, CeeLo. All right, Last Saint said we need hard-hitting safeties. Yeah, no doubt about it, man. I agree with you. KK says, Q, you think Freeman will make the cut? Well, with them getting rid of Stevie Scott the third, chances are he probably will make the cut. Unless he gets really horrible. I think Coach Payton really likes Devonta Freeman. Listen, Freeman is a good running back. He gonna catch on eventually. He'll catch on. But to have an experienced running back like that as a third back, that's a promise. And then on top of that, Ty Montgomery, who's usually the running back in that room, is helping out with the wide receivers. So he's not an impediment. So when they got rid of Stevie Scott III, remember, we only have 2 more preseason contests. We don't have 4. And in my head, I'm like, okay, we're going to see some more. But I'm getting used to the fact that there are only 3 games. We got 2 left. So it's an expedited time frame. So you look at him like, oh, yeah, he going to make it because Stevie Scott, which was the only other guy there, is now gone. He was amongst these cuts that we just reported on. So, yeah, I think he makes it, KK. Thanks for the question. All right, big ups to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all. Lamar, what's up, fam? Yeah, he said he F with PJ on short yardage. Okay. If he really want to prove himself, PJ Williams has just been dealing with injuries and issues, man. I don't know what's going on with him, but time will tell, Miscellaneous Mel said, I think I'm more concerned about the offense this year, though. Oh, yep, I hear you. 504 Hot Boy. Okay, it jumped on me, man. 504. Who that to you, brother? All right, it just jumped on me. I was reading it and it just jumped. He said Burrell is not being talked about enough. I know, bro. That's why I'm talking about him now. We got to, and sometimes it's not really popular to talk about the undrafted guys nobody else is talking about. But the Sports Coma talk about everybody. If you putting on some good shit and you doing some stuff, we're going to talk about you. And I don't care if they don't talk about you or not. We're going to talk about you on here. We're going to shout you out. Like we was talking about Marquez Callaway and talk about how good he looked. Then LaJordan Humphrey, I was looking, I say, listen, they ain't talk about LaJordan Humphrey, but LaJordan Humphrey looking real good. And you look at Camp, he catching everything. Now he got that, would let the guy pop the ball up out of his hands for a pick, but that's really the only really negative thing you can say about what he was doing. He looked better than Chris Hogan, who was out there dropping passes and shit, or Jake Lampman. I mean, Jake Lampman need a light to shine some light on. He in the dark right now. You got to catch the ball. All right, big ups to the fam. Last Saint says we definitely need to see Marcus Williams play well. His contract depends on it. Yeah, that's a big thing with Marcus, man. That's a big thing with Marcus. Yeah, he definitely they got the spotlight on him. Mocha, what's up, fam? Who that says our current kicker who is replacing a really good kicker is just average. Yeah, he is just the average punter. I looked at his kicking. He got a leg. He had a leg on him before he got hurt, but the issue is his accuracy. I'm like, this dude here is only like a 70-something accurate. I'm like, whoa,
What you got out of him? You did a favor for somebody. What's going on? But at the end of the day, he gone. So we'll see. All right. Black Pearl says Freeman got to go. I don't think he going nowhere, bro. I mean, with Stevie Scott III gone, I mean, that opens up a lane for Devonta Freeman. And yeah, he didn't look good in the first preseason matchup, but a lot of them didn't. Let's see how he looks in the rest of them, because he might start shining. And we got the best offensive line in pro football, man. It's hard to look bad with that in front of you. But we're gonna see. Let's continue to watch this and see how we still got 2 more preseason games to observe, What's up, Gary? Who that to you? Gary Carpenter, Big Q. What up with the Madden simulation? It's coming back, bro. I've been doing so much, family. I mean, we're doing a lot. We had the Sports Coma Fantasy League. For those who won't sign up for the Sports Coma Fantasy League, the link is in the description section. Sign up for the Sports Coma Fantasy League. Spots are limited. If you won't get in there, the information for it is in the link in the description section. The Sports Coma PS5 raffle, we raffling off a PS5 unit. If you want to know about information of that and join up with that, the description section's in the link below. I've been doing all that. Just been busy, man. But the simulations, I promise you, fam, they'll be coming back, Gary. So thank you for asking, man. Appreciate that. It's coming back, fam. Slim says Devonta Freeman will be better with There you go. There you go. Tell him again, Slim. All right. John says Notre Dame player, very smart. Yeah, we got a couple of them, man. Tony Jones Jr. stepping up. We got Ian Book, who is another smart player. So you're absolutely right. All right. SK Simmons just to subscribe. And you see Mike dancing for you. Big ups to SK Simmons. Thank you for joining the Sports Coma family members. Let's give a shout out, man, to SK Simmons, who just joined the family. Let's give SK some love. Who that to you? Thank you, SK, for joining, man. Big much love to you. All right, let's keep it going. Big ups to the fam. What's up, True Hurts? Who that to you, fam? Appreciate you being here as well. What's up, Jamie? Who that to you? Big ups. All right. No, KK. No news on Laddie Daddy yet in terms of his suspension. Nothing as of yet, but it's coming. It's coming. I anticipate that happening probably before the first season, or if that sorry sack of excrement, the chump missioner, waits like he did with PJ Williams into the season and said we're going to take him away for 2 games right when you think you're going to. That's kind of games that guy played. He could have been did that. But we'll see. But it's coming. It's coming. Philip says Freeman predicted his future with the Saints when he tweeted "ain'ts." It was meant that he ain't making a roster cut. All right. Yeah, well, there you go. You know what I'm saying? It's that talking shit about people thing. You're right. What's up, Bishop? Says none dare call it conspiracy and tragedy and hope. Got them both. Appreciate the suggestions, Big Q. And a great saying. Thank you. All right. Good, Bishop. That's some good ones right there, man. That's some heavy hitting stuff in there, man. We covered some of that on the On Cue. It's an hour and 30 minutes, man. And listen, that stuff is hardcore, man. Listen, because people like listening to it, be like, man, Q, that sounds like a movie. I know. That's where they get it from. Like I was talking about the Terminator movie, the guy, Cameron, who created the Terminator movies. Where do you think he got the idea from? He was reading documents about the AI and it spooked him. And he had the idea to make it about this and all this kind of old stuff. Mostly people's imaginations ain't that vast, man. Come on. A lot of that comes from them reading and saying inspired and maybe perhaps to make money, maybe to warn people. But if you go back and look up what he was saying, the intentions were to let you know not to put all your eggs in that basket with the machines running around here and all this kind of stuff. And on top of that, a lot of the technology they ain't using it for the benefit of the people anyway. They're using it as a control metric while telling you it's here to help you. So I mean, we covered that in there, but people got to be able to take that, and I'm not forcing it down nobody's throat. You're a grown up, you got good sense and discernment. You do with it what you want to do with it. And just remember, the people perish for a lack of information or a lack of knowledge. They perish for it, meaning they go away and don't come back. So if we don't be amongst those numbers of people, protect yourself, arm yourself up with as much information that you can have. Even if we got to put down some of that pop culture stuff and pick up some real stuff, it won't hurt you. I'm telling you, you can always go back to that stuff if you want to. Just as long as you know that real deal. Kim says Latavius underwhelmed, used as a draft pick to deepening cornerback position. Go Tony Jones, thank Pierre. All right. Okay. Thank you, Kimberly. Much love. Use a draft pick to deepening cornerback position. All right. Well, I mean, you know what? Yeah, we definitely could use a little help there. Thank you, Tess, for posting those links too. Much love to Tess. Thank you for helping out with that. Yeah, it's a part of it, man. The cornerback position. I just feel like, man, we got a lot of you lose P Rob, which we know P Rob. I just don't think he's gonna make it. Ken Crawley's trying and playing a lot better than he's played in a long time. But I still don't see him as an answer. Paulson Adebo is a guy that responded really well. And of course, if he does that over the next couple of preseason games, how could you deny him an opportunity? If he steps up and shows out for you in that regard, then why not give him an opportunity? And I think a lot of that you have to think about it, because Saints could pull a move. They got plenty of draft capital. They could pull a move and get the guy from Florida or whatever cornerback they like. They can get Xavier Howard if they want to. They can make the numbers work if they really wanted to, if they're inspired to. But maybe perhaps this patience factor is, let's see what Paulson Adebo can do in the next game. Could he have a similar outing as he had in the Baltimore Ravens game when they were just picking on him and he responded with deflected balls and making open field tackles? I mean, he was terrific, man. He was terrific. I really did appreciate watching him play the position, man. He was terrific. All right. So, I mean, with that being said, man, yes, Miss Sex Black said movies always show you exactly what the masses tend to do. It's yeah, you're right. You're right, Sexy Blackman. She said, "Oh, Henry said, speaking of movies, when we seeing Saints head coach? I don't know. That's supposed to come out real soon, I think." All right, Black Pearl says trade Murray for CJ. I don't know if they will want Murray for Anderson. I don't know. Latavius Murray is Derrick Henry minus a few pounds, says Lad. I don't know about that. Latavius Murray is a dangerous running back, man. He really is. But he also, too, bear in mind this, fam, before we look at these runs. Remember, a lot of these running backs are what we call rhythm runners. That's what Mark Ingram was. You got to give them a certain amount of snaps for them to get in the rhythm and start flowing. You know what I'm saying? They're rhythm backs. Latavius a rhythm back. Coleman's Freeman, is a rhythm back as well. Elvin Kamara is a guy that get his regardless. Elvin Kamara go out there, you throw him the ball, he gets you 25. He's just a special guy. He's a special player. But most of these other guys, these north-south runners like a Latavius or Freeman, these guys need snaps. They need reps to get a rhythm going. So I mean, let's remember that as well. All right, KB, who that to you, fam? Appreciate the queens in the building. All right. Yes, Kess takes to your point, Q. Knowledge. She said, I refuse to have a battle of wits. Oh, there you go, Tess, baby. There you go. At that point, you just be beating on them, huh, baby? Now you won't keep the violence down. I got you, Tess, baby. I got you. All right, that was funny. Thank you, Tess. All right, Tramal said we need to trade Pete. I got you. Gary says, BQ, are you doing a Pale show tonight? No, sir, I'm not. If I do one tonight, it'd be 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm not doing one. It'll probably be Wednesday. The Pelican Post Game Report next show will be Wednesday. We'll have quite a few news to cover on there as well. Tough Tiger Talks on Saturday morning. Also, the TSC Unleashed is coming back. It'll be an early morning show on Saturdays. So y'all be looking out for that. Please feel free to go to the community section and sign up for TSC Unleashed. We beta tested that a while ago. We bringing it back. We got a lot of good response from TSC Unleashed. People who really liked the show but weren't Saints fan. I found that out. It wasn't people. People were sending me, Q, you talk about the Saints too much. And I was like, dude, I am a Saints guy. But they was like the content. They just weren't Saints people. You know what I'm saying? Like we are. But, so I just beta tested it and we got a good response. So if you guys enjoyed the TSC Unleashed shows, we set up our own channel for that. It's TSC Unleashed on YouTube. You can feel free to put it in the search and go there and subscribe, or simply go to the community section. The link is there. You can go over there. Yep. You got it, Tess. That's right, baby. All right, fam. So listen, I appreciate y'all. Last St. Pete going to get injured again, Big Q. Listen, fam, I don't want to put that on Andrews, but Andrews, he didn't look good in camp when I was there. It looked like he was having issues, man. And the Saints made sure they had veteran guys there as well. They got veteran guys there to kind of help out, with Pete. If something were to happen with Pete, the Saints aren't fools. So we'll see what's going on with Andrews, man. He didn't look good, that day when I was there as well. All right. Tell me about it. What's going on, fam? He says, coming in late, what I missed. You pretty much missed everything, bro. You just got to rewind it a bit, my friend, but I appreciate you being here. All right. Jamal says, Q, open the doors to the church on the Pale. Okay. On the Pale's post-game report. Yeah, we're going to open up the chat. I don't know if it'll be Wednesday. You know, usually Fridays we open up the chat on Fridays for people to come in and ask questions, man. And regardless of what we do, we just have fun, man. And that's why, a lot of our stuff is successful. Damon says, Q, big step away for a sec. What I missed? Just a few things, bro. Just covering a few things. All right, last thing, Pelicans are garbage. Why cover them? Well, they fun to. I don't think they're garbage. They'll be all right. Tramal says, Pete is a big vending machine on wheels. I've said that often about other people. But people, I can't get people to warm up to Andrews Pete. Multiple Pro Bowls, and he earned his money, but everybody say he garbage. But I mean, he got hurt, and a lot of people seeing a man get hurt, dealing with ankle, arm issues, and calling him garbage and everything. The man playing his ass off, but if he sat there and wouldn't play, they'll call him soft. And I'm like, man, come on, fam. Y'all just, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. Tess says, penalty Pete, pancake Pete. Penalty, pancake Pete, penalty Pete. He got to get his stuff together, though, man. He don't look good right now, man. Black Pearl, shalom to you too, fam. Big ups. All right, so that'll do it for the show, fam. I thank y'all for joining. I'm about to pop out of here, man. I'm going to show up. I'll see you guys on Tuesday for our Patreon family members and our YouTube membership family. We'll be back with the TSC Q&A live show tomorrow. I'm pretty sure the Saints will make some moves. We'll cover the latest moves as well on TSC Q&A live tomorrow on Patreon. Also for our Patreon family members, On Q with Big Q. New show was released as an hour and 30 minutes covering some real hardcore stuff. But like I said, it's information, you take it as you see fit. A lot of that stuff people never heard before, or if they heard about it, it's like it sounds like a movie. But when I start letting you hear from the people that's saying it and showing you their articles and shit, like, oh shit, oh yeah, oh shit indeed. So I mean, it's fun. But y'all check it out and just if you have to listen to it a few times, do it. Do some research behind it as well. All right, Damon says Pete is excellent at run blocking. You people that's saying that, okay, yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Thank you, Tramal. Thank you, Damien, as well. Much love. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to check out, man. I appreciate y'all in the building, man. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the share button, share it on your social media. Like I said, if you want to check out the PS5 raffle we're doing, the information, the link is in the description section. If you want to join the 3rd annual Sports Coma Fantasy League, 3rd annual, man. Been 3 years since we've been doing the Sports Coma Fantasy. I've been having fun every year. Shit, I never won it. I mean, too many good people in there. But man, listen, have fun every year. But there are slots open up until the season starts. So if you want to get in the Sports Coma Fantasy League, the link is in the description section as well. So if you want to join the family, it's YouTube, so you can catch us on Patreon on TSC, the TSC Q&A live show, which is over 60 lot content shows. On there, it's a bunch of content on there. You could become a YouTube member or you can become a Patreon member. Both that information is in the description section below. So with that being said, I'm gonna tap out on that. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna see some of y'all, the family members, on our Tuesday Patreon show. The rest of the family members, I see y'all on Hump Day. Much love to y'all. Y'all be safe, and who that?
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the Sports Coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Payton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the Sports Coma, all we know is Saints Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
coma. Much love to the family members. Appreciate y'all. The PRO Media Network is back at it again. Last year, we gave away several PS4s and games. So this year, we're raffling off a PS5. To enter for your chance to win, simply click the link below and fill out all the necessary information to be eligible. Sign up for the raffle. It's $25 to enter. You gain an opportunity to win a system, the PS5 system. Like I said, it's a one remote and everything in it that goes with the full system. These things are hard to come by. It could be yours. Into the raffle today, $25 get you in. There's also a deal when you buy more than one ticket to up your chances of winning. Jump in there. It also benefits the platform as well. So feel free to sign up for the first annual PS5 raffle from the Pro Media Network. Thank you for participating and much love. Big ups to you.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, the WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.